Hey, I'm going to do a collective reading. I think this is going to be twin flame. I've been kind of pushed on about twin flame here recently, so I'm going to do that. It's just going to go in whatever direction, whatever comes out. I'll do the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and then I'll get the energy in between. Happy New Year, by the way, to everybody. I hope there's a lot of transits happening, especially in January, that is gonna like inspire action. So I hope everybody has like their New Year's resolutions ready, because this is the time to execute it. Anyways, hit the like, share, subscribe button, comment. I want to know if it resonated or if it didn't. Anyways, let's get started. I'm gonna start with this Earthcraft Oracle deck. Get a little bit of an overview of the situation. So tell me about twin flame. Tell me about twin flame. Sacred Temple, number 25. Number 16, Light. And number 37, Mountain. Okay, and I'm going to take this Thunderstorm as well here. Number 39. And the Shift, taking that too. Okay, so I feel like obviously there's some sort of shift happening here. I felt it a couple of readings ago. I was talking about a sudden shift that was happening in the energy. And I feel like for at least one of the twin flames, probably the divine masculine, since there's a man on this card, and it feels like this is happening more for the divine masculine. I feel like there's some sort of transition happening in their life. It says thunderstorm, and there's some sort of this is giving me like tower moment energy. There's some sort of tower that I think is happening in the masculine's life. This could be the feminine's as well, but I think this is just the masculine's energy on this. So for Sacred Temple and Light, I feel like somebody has seen the light. This could be the masculine again. This could also be the feminine. By the way, any thing that the feminine heals in themselves, the masculine then mirrors back. So that could definitely be happening for both of them. And this Mountain card is one of my favorite cards, and I feel like there's probably some sort of obstacles or something like that in somebody's life that they're having to overcome. But if you look at the card, you can see the sun up top. So like if you get through that, then you get the sun. And the sun card is the happiest card in the deck in the Rider Waite Tarot. I feel like there's a message here for somebody to go with the flow too, especially a lot of times we struggle against things, and that makes it worse. Kind of like the Tower card, like I was saying before. A lot of people resist the Tower moment, and resisting a Tower moment, and especially if you're not actually changing anything about your life, only brings the Tower in. So anyways, let's get some more on the situation for the twin flames. There's definitely some sort of shift happening. I know that. I can feel that. And usually I start getting pushed on about twin flame when there is some sort of shift happening, some sort of change that's occurring. Okay. TikTok. Deadline. Procrastination. Too busy. Yeah, somebody's feeling like a sense of urgency. Skirt. Quick getaway. The runner escaping. I feel like instead of this... somebody like running away from a situation. Okay, instead of this being the feminine or the masculine running away from that one, I feel like this is the energy of somebody who's leaving another situation and coming. It may not be coming directly towards their twin flame, but they're getting out of a situation that they're in or wanting to. Yeah, bye Felicia. Peacing out. Thank you next. Leaving and not caring. Somebody has become fed up with a situation. the blues, scared, heavy emotions, mental distress. Yeah, somebody's having some mental distress over this situation. Yeah, tiptoeing. This usually doesn't come out a lot. Avoiding getting caught, acting shady, sneaking around. Yeah, there's somebody here who is trying to get out of a situation, and they're trying to do it in a sneaky way. I don't want to say that this is like an abusive relationship or something like that. It doesn't have to be. It could be like a controlling relationship or something like that. Somebody could be in a relationship with somebody who's very controlling or something like that. And, one of those things where they can't just take off. Which, that doesn't mean that that's the situation. That could be for some people, but anyways, there's somebody who's feeling some distress, some emotions. They're leaving a situation, and this TikTok card is giving me an energy of like, I gotta do this now. I gotta do this now. That's what I'm getting from that. So we'll figure out who's who and what's going on. Let's get the Divine Feminine's energy, though. Let's get the Divine Feminine's energy. What can you tell me about the Divine Feminine? King of Swords. So this is an energy of like, no longer tolerating bad behavior, clarity, mental clarity. This is air energy, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. This is, about the facts. The King of Swords is all about the facts. They just don't tolerate and put up with bullshit. They're intellectuals. This is somebody that you're not really going to be able to pull. You're not going to be able to pull the wool over this person's eyes is what I'm trying to say. Ace of Cups. There's some sort of new opportunity here, or the feminine is going to be seeing a new opportunity in something. Four of Wands. This could be some sort of reunion. This could be very well be the masculine that's coming back towards the feminine. This could also be the feminine that's going back towards the masculine. But being the King of Swords energy is kind of a little bit already painting the entire picture for me. I'm not going to say all of it, but it's kind of painting the picture for me at the moment. And I think this is I feel like this is an energy of, somebody who's just not going to tolerate, again, bullshit. So I don't really think that this is the feminine moving towards the masculine. If there's a reunion happening here, I think it's the other way around. I think it's the masculine coming back towards the feminine. Okay. Double card fell out. Capricorn energy. Yeah. So here's the problem with this, though. Yeah, there we go. Star card, Aquarius energy. Here's the problem with that, though. I'm not entirely certain that whatever situation this is that's coming back towards the feminine, well, I feel like the feminine's in an energy of healing themselves. And this Devil card is really kind of telling me that there maybe was some toxic things going on. Maybe a codependent relationship or something like that with the masculine. And I feel like the feminine is healing from that. And I feel like this is happening while the feminine's trying to heal from that. Okay. And this tiptoeing card definitely could be, the masculine kind of trying to tiptoe their way in, because I think they may know this. So anyways, what is this King of Swords? Tell me what this King of Swords is. Tell me about this King of Swords. Eight of Cups. Yeah. I feel like the feminine here walked away from a situation. Three of Pentacles in reverse. There was a lack of cooperation. Yeah, and so now they kind of have this, energy where they have their sword up and they're very guarded, and they're not going to allow, any more bullshit to play out, is what this feels like to me. Give me this Ace of Cups. What is this Ace of Cups for the feminine? The Hanged Man in reverse. And the Ten of Cups. So I feel like there is a message here for the feminine. I'm definitely kind of feeling like the masculine is coming back. I haven't read the masculine's energy or not, but this is giving me a feeling like the masculine is coming back. And I feel like there's a message here. Though this looks like the Ten of Cups to the feminine, and you know the Ace of Cups and happiness, there's a message here to kind of reflect and remember everything that occurred in this relationship before. The Hanged Man is, you know, usually becoming like enlightened, maybe having. There's a message here with it in the reverse for me that's like pause. With that Light card, this also may be like a message to the feminine to see, you know, see the light in a situation. If this is an unhealed masculine coming back towards the feminine, you know, because the feminine has a Star card out here under the Devil card, so this is definitely them healing from whatever kind of toxic thing that was going on here. Okay, so what is this? What's this Four of Wands? Tell me about this Four of Wands for the feminine. What's this Four of Wands? Full card. Yeah, there's definitely some situation that is going to make the feminine want to take a leap of faith. And this is just so weird because they started out with the King of Swords walking away because there was no cooperation. There was toxic energy happening, whatever this was that happened. And I feel like the masculine comes back in and boom, the feminine has this like almost moment where they're forgetting all of the healing that they're going through and that they're trying to execute. So yeah, Seven of Swords. I mean, I feel like yeah, this is like almost, if you look at this, it's like the Fool has his back turned to the Seven of Swords. And it's like they're forgetting about what occurred here. And all the yellow in the cards is, you know, making me think about happiness. And it's like, the King of Swords doesn't allow anybody to play or manipulate them. And so this is a very sudden switch up by the feminine, and that could be what this shift thunderstorm energy is about. That it could definitely be that, because right now, again, like they have the Justice card and the Chariot, Libra, Cancer energy. I mean, they had, you know, put their foot down and moved on from the situation. There's a lot of major arcana out here for the feminine. So what is this Devil energy then? Tell me about the Devil here. Tell me about the Devil here for the feminine. What is this? Six of Swords in a reverse. Yeah, it has been incredibly difficult for the feminine to move on from this situation. Yeah, World card in the reverse. Yeah. And I feel like maybe the feminine isn't far enough into their healing journey for this to be, you know, like an organic reunion. I feel like this is almost going to be a forced reunion by the masculine here, is what this looks like to me. But anyways, let's get the masculine's energy though, so we can figure out what's going on over there. Tell me about the masculine. What do we need to know about the masculine? Five of Pentacles. Justice card, Libra energy. Strength card, Leo energy. So far, and I have the Five of Swords out here as well. So far, what this looks like to me is two things. And I have the Six of Swords out here as well. So with this Five of Pentacles and the Six of Swords, what this is telling me is that this looks like they're leaving a situation, moving on, maybe physical move with the Six of Swords. Yeah, this looks like they're in a situation where they are, They're in a relationship that is going nowhere, is what I'm getting. And with this Justice card, could definitely be a marriage, but it doesn't have to be about that. But for me, like the feminine also got the Justice card out here, and so I feel like there's like, it's like the masculine is finally seeing what's what in a situation, because they also have the Five of Swords out here as well. So there, it's like the masculine seeing some situation around them for what it is, and they're kind of, you know, putting the hammer down on the situation. Strength card, and this person is trying to. I feel a little bit like this person is wavering. I feel like a little bit this person is wavering. I don't know why I'm getting that, but it's like this person is wavering. They go back and forth. Go back and forth about it is what it feels like. And like they're really having to pull on their inner strength. Again, I had this mountain card out here. So, I mean, this kind of looked like obstacles to me. I have the Nine of Swords. So this definitely is something that is, you know, really rolling around in the masculine's conscience. This is the thing that they lay awake at night thinking about. I have the Ace of Cups here as well. So, yeah, so the feminine got the Ace of Cups out here too. I feel like this is the masculine wanting to come back towards the feminine, but, I mean, I'm just... Tell me more about this Ace of Cups. Tell me more about this Ace of Cups for the masculine. Seven of Cups in the reverse, but they are still very much in a state of confusion. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This person may not be financially like stable on their own. They have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So this is like somebody who... This is just some unstable energy, some kind of erratic behavior. And like I said, this person is going back and forth about this situation. And it's like they can't make a decision. One day they're done, whatever situation they're in, they're done with it. They're coming back towards the feminine. And the next minute, it's like they change their mind. Okay, they have the Star in the reverse. So the feminine had the Star upright. The masculine has the Star in reverse. It's Aquarius energy. There is some things that the masculine is kind of looking away from and not healing. The feminine is in their healing journey right now. This is something that they are doing. But the masculine, not so much. I mean, they see a situation in front of them for what it is. Yep. Ace of Swords, clarity. They see the situation they're in for what it is. They are seeing that. However, I mean... to be able to look at somebody or a situation and go, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. You really have to be, you know, healed in some way or ready to heal in some way. And I feel like, I'm not saying the masculine's not ready to heal. I just don't think they know how. I don't think they know how. But they also have the Judgment card here, Scorpio energy. So there is an awakening happening for this person though. There is an awakening happening. This person is coming to some sort of clarity, but they are stuck at a major crossroads in this situation. Major crossroads in this situation. They have the Page of Swords. Oh, whoops. I saw the Page of Swords. Well, King of Pentacles too. We'll take that too. The financial stability is something that this person is worrying about. This could also be a spouse, again, that they're worried about. Could be that, but if not, this is, you know, they're worried about financial stability and how that could have an effect on the situation for some reason. And then the Page of Swords. There are definitely two things with the Page of Swords. I feel like one, they're really kind of in an energy of like looking this over. Like I'm seeing somebody like sitting at a desk or a laptop or something like that, and they're looking at, I don't know, U-Haul prices or plane ticket prices or just or maybe houses where they're planning to go or something like that. But also I'm seeing that they're keeping tabs on the feminine in some way, shape, or form too. I don't know if this is a contact situation or not. I'm not seeing, well, I do have the Five of Pentacles out here, so this could be a no contact situation. If it's a no contact situation, just know that they're watching. And I just saw the Page of Swords in my other deck too. So yeah, they're watching. That just confirms it. Anyways, let's get the mutual energy here. Let's get the mutual energy here for the Twin Flame Collective. What's the mutual energy here? King of Pentacles in reverse. Empress card in the reverse. Yeah, there's... Neither one of these people are to a place where they want to be. That's what I'm getting from this. Neither one of them are to a place where they want to be. I have the Lover's card out here, Gemini energy. I mean, the connection is still very much here. If this is a no contact situation, the connection is very much still there. If one person in the situation is wondering whether or not the other person is thinking about them, they absolutely are. That absolutely is happening. They have not forgotten. They haven't, put you out of their life. It's yeah. But there's these obstacles, like I said, with that Mountain card. There's obstacles here. 7 of Wands. There are a lot of obstacles here. I feel like there are some naysayers on both sides of the aisle. I feel like there are some naysayers. On the masculine side, I feel like there are some people around the masculine who are naysayers, and I'm getting an energy of like, these people have like, I don't know, Temperance card, Sagittarius energy. Like these people are, which rightfully so, these people are worried about the masculine, having peace in their life. And I feel like whatever situation here has played out with the feminine, people around them, their friends, family, or whatever that they talk to about this, are saying nay to it because I think they know that the masculine isn't really where they need to be. If they're in another relationship, they're probably telling this person, you don't need to hop from one relationship to another relationship. That's unhealthy to do, which I agree. But I mean, I mean, it looks to me that the masculine's very much leaning on, and they may change their mind, energy changes, but and like I said, they're going back and forth about this, but this is, yeah, Nine of Wands. I feel like both people in the situation are feeling 9 of Wands. This is a very wounded situation for some reason. I don't know if this... So 9 of Wands for me always says on and off again. And this may have been that in the situation or whatever, but also it's giving me like guarded energy. I feel like both people are very guarded in the situation. Like I said, neither one of these people are to where they need to be in life, or they feel like they're not where they need to be in life. They're still both... The masculine is really kind of not leaning into their healing yet, and the feminine is, just now like working on their healing. So I feel like this isn't, I don't know, I feel like this just isn't, that's why they're both guarded anyways. I feel like they both deep down on the inside maybe think this is a bad idea. 5 of Wands, 5 of Cups. They're both very upset and conflicted about the situation. Very upset and conflicted about the situation. And like I said, there's probably people around both of these parties giving them every reason in the book to not do this again. But also I'm feeling like with the 9 of Wands along with the 5 of Wands, it's also kind of giving me a little bit of an energy of they want to fight for it too. Yeah. And also the 4 of Cups here. So this, and again, more energy of like stagnation. Not really moving anything forward or anything like that. Because I think both of them are in an energy of not knowing whether or not to do this again or not. But I will say though, the shift that's happening with the masculine is absolutely happening. And the shift is happening with the feminine too. I'm seeing that. The shift is happening with the feminine. They're pressing forward with their life with this Justice card and the Chariot card. They're moving forward. Star card, they're healing. They're doing life. They're doing life. 10 of Cups, they're going after their dreams. They're going after they're just going after the life that they wanted. They're doing it. So usually the masculine or the runner is a little bit behind the feminine, and I feel like that's the situation here with the masculine. They're a little bit behind the feminine. They haven't really gotten to their I want to say this person is at their breaking point with this Judgment card, and they may very well be, but I don't think they're at their breaking point enough to actually take action yet. That's how I feel about that. Judgment card here again, though. Both of them are having this moment of like awakening. Like I said, the feminine is a little more ahead than the masculine is, but both of them are kind of in this energy like something is happening, a shift is happening. So, okay. So let's get to the actions then. What's going to be the actions in this situation? Either way it goes. What's going to be the actions in this situation? What's going to be the actions in this situation? Ace of Pentacles. Two of Wands. Well, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. There may be a reach out coming. There may be a reach out coming here. I am not at all saying, like I said, I do not think either one of these people are in a position right now for this to come back together, but this does look like a little bit of a reach out. Knight of Pentacles. I really feel like somebody, there's an energy of kind of dragging their feet. I feel like the response to this is going to be, if this is the masculine reaching out to the feminine, I feel like the response is going to be a little bit dragging the feet. I feel like on the inside, the feminine's going to want to jump at this. They're going to want to jump at this. Full card again. And then the Seven of Swords again. I had those exact two same cards out for the feminine. I feel like they're on the inside, this person is going to, want to jump. They're going to kind of turn their back on everything that happened before in the situation, and they're going to want to jump. But then, this Knight of Wands kicks in. And they guard themselves. So, there may be a reach out coming. I do think there's going to be a reach out coming. Well, Queen of Swords in the reverse. On the outside, there could be a bit of an argument or some sort of verbal scuffle between these people or something like that. They did have the Five of Wands between them. So, could happen. Again, the feminine is in their, King of Swords energy, Queen of Swords in reverse. That could be some sort of, this could be a moment in time where the feminine decides to tell the masculine about themselves. Definitely could happen. So, okay, so what's going to be the outcome in the situation? I think that's going to be the outcome, but I'll ask anyways. What's the outcome in the situation? What's the outcome in the situation? Three of Swords. Yeah, that's what I was fearing. Yeah. I feel like somebody is going to, Four of Swords, somebody is going to set on this, because I think the feminine is going to set on this. I think Two of Pentacles, they're going to weigh this back and forth. And I think they're going to, with this Four of Swords energy, I think they're going to really sit back and think about this. And I think that they are going to reject this. Think they're going to reject this. Yeah. Eight of Cups here. Yeah, I think the feminine is going to walk away from the situation for that reason. Yeah, King of Swords. King of Swords. Somebody in the situation, you can flip and reverse the roles if it doesn't fit the way that I'm saying it. If you feel like you're on the other side, be on the other side. But the King of Swords is going to be here. They're going to have all this feelings on the inside and all these rumblings and all that's going to happen. It is going to happen. They're going to get that adrenaline rush when they finally see a text message or a phone call or whatever it is, or popping up at your house could be, I don't know. But they're going to get the adrenaline rush from this situation, but they're ultimately going to do the King of Swords here. And they're not going to allow that, I don't think. So, all right, so let's get what's the advice for the feminine? What's the advice for the feminine? What's the advice for the feminine? Moon card. Moon card. I feel like the advice here is to see past the illusion that the masculine may come forward and paint. I think the masculine is maybe going to come forward and try to paint some illusion of their life. And they're going to maybe act like everything is so great in their life or something like that, but I do not think it is. And this is also Six of Pentacles, even give and take. Was there even give and take in the past? If there wasn't, that's something that the feminine really needs to think about. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. But this looks like some sort of, maybe there's some codependency issues on the feminine's part. That is something to work on. Boundaries. Seven of Wands, boundaries. Boundaries. So let's get the advice for the masculine. What's the advice for the masculine? What's the advice for the masculine? Eight of Swords. Three of Cups in the reverse. 10 of Cups. And the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like the message here for, and the High Priestess, Cancerian energy. I feel like the message here for the masculine is to go within. To listen to your intuition. Get out of your head and go within. This Eight of Swords, I'm feeling get out of your head and go within. Do the work. The Eight of Pentacles here is in the reverse, and this is like almost like a refusal to do the work. You need to do the inner work. If there's a masculine watching this, you need to do the inner work. Three of Cups in the reverse, to me is, I also think there's a little bit of a message here, like I said, for the masculine. There's people around this masculine. I think trying to give them good advice on the situation, but I think there's also a few people around the masculine who really have hidden intentions for kind of warding them off of this situation. And I think they really need to look at that. They have some fake people around them, I think. Some fake friends, fake family members. Somebody around them is giving them bad advice on everything. Even if they're in another relationship, this person is giving them bad advice about that as well. Whether they're telling them to stay or leave, somebody's giving them bad advice. And they have the 10 of Cups out here. So for me, this is like, get out of your head, go within, do the work, stop listening to other people around you, and go towards your ultimate 10 of Cups, your ultimate happiness, because that's what the feminine is doing. So, and I see, like I said, the masculine is taking small steps towards this, but it's not enough. It's not enough to come back towards the feminine. The feminine is still healing things that they need to heal on the inside of themselves. So I don't see a reunion happening quite yet, but there is a really big sudden shift happening between twin flames. So that's what I have. Again, Happy New Year's to everybody. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I want to know if this resonated, and then I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.